Hi Stampers, this is Dawn and today we're going to make another Easter basket. This one is going to be a large Easter basket. You might remember this one that we posted last week. This is the small Easter basket. So now this is the larger version so you can really tell the difference. Alright, so I'll have the link to the small version down below in the description below this video, and then let's get started making the large one today. Okay, so let me give you the pieces. I'm using a 12 by 12 piece of lemon lime twist. And you're going to need 6 strips of your designer paper. In this case, I'm using the Fresh Florals. And these are all cut at 1 inch by 11. And you're going to score them at 3.5 and 7.5. And once again, let me give you that quick tip again. So this is the piece that I had left over after cutting all my strips. So I'm just going to show you what I did for this. So after you cut your designer paper down to 11 inches long, you're going to score it. So this is my 11-inch side across the top. So you're going to score this at 3.5, and then you're going to scoot this down to 7.5. Okay. All right, so 7.5. Then you're just going to go ahead and turn it, and then you're just going to cut your 1-inch strips. So you're not having to go back and score each one of those strips at 3.5, 7.5. So you're doing it all at one time. So then you're just cutting them and then you're already all done with the scoring. Okay, so there's your quick tip for that. So now the handle I did double up because this is a larger basket and plus it's going to hold a lot more candy, so I wanted it to be a little bit sturdier. So instead of doubling the designer paper, I doubled it with the cardstock. So what I did is I took a piece of the lemon lime twist in the 8.5 by 11 and I cut it at 1 inch by 11. When I cut the designer paper, let me show you here. So this would be your 12 by 12 designer paper, and then after you're cutting this down to 11 inches, remember to make your strips, you're going to have 1 inch hanging over. So that's the part you're going to be cutting. So this is the piece that I'm going to use for the handle. Okay, so then I just took my 8.5 by 11 and I just glued them together with the liquid glue. And then of course once it's glued together, you're just going to trim that extra 1 inch off. Okay, so then this is my handle. So now let me also explain the 12 by 12 cardstock doesn't come individually. It comes in a pack of assorted cardstock, and it's for the end colors this year. And it's the lemon lime twist, the powder pink, berry burst, tranquil tide, and then the fresh fig. You're going to get a total of 20 sheets, and you're going to get 4 of each color in the assorted pack. And then also the Fresh Florals designer paper also comes in the same assortment of the end colors, and we're using the lemon lime twist. And these designer papers are double-sided, but this is a large pack of 40 sheets. Okay, so now let's grab our Simply Scored. So this is the Simply Scored. You also get your stylist in this tool, and I thought that making this large basket using the 12 by 12, the Simply Scored was probably a little bit easier, but you can most definitely use your Stampin' Trimmer. Okay, so 12 by 12 piece of lemon lime twist. We're going to score this at 3/4, and then we're going to move it down to 4, then 8, then 11.25. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and turn it and do the exact same measurement. So 3/4, 4, 8, and 11.25. All right, so there's our basket, believe it or not. Okay, so we're going to start cutting, and I'm going to focus on the bottom edge right here. So we're going to remove this side here. Okay, and then we're going to cut on the score lines. Then we're going to remove this tab over here. Okay, so now we're going to remove the 3/4 inch score line at the bottom of this section and this section, skipping over the center square. Okay, so now it should look like this. Now we're going to do some mitering. Okay, so now it should look like this. Now we're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on this side. And I'm going to switch out my scissors. I need a longer base scissor because this is such a big piece of cardstock. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing we did over here on this side. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and fold all our score lines. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and fold our tabs forward. Okay, so you're going to flip it over. Now we're going to add some tear and tape. We're going to add it to these 4 tabs right there. Okay, so something else we're going to add to this box. So right where we added this tear and tape, we're going to drop it down about 1/4 inch, and we're going to add another strip of tear and tape. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put our box together. So we're going to pinch our sides up like this, and then this is going to come over here, and then this side is going to come over here to form our box. And I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue for that. So let me go ahead and do this. Okay, so there's our box. All right, so we have our double-sided adhesive on these 2 sides right here. So this flap is actually going to fold down over that, so you're not even going to see that. So remember on the smaller one that we made here, instead of doing the tear and tape on this edge, we just used the mini glue dots. So if you still want to use the mini glue dots, you're more than welcome to do that. I just thought I would show you another way to do that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and flip our box over. And now we're going to bring in our strips. And remember, we're going to add our strips where we scored. Now normally with the small box, you would add your glue dots on both ends. But I went ahead and added the tear and tape. So now this is when you're going to add your strips. So this one I'm going to make every other strip a different design. So I'm going to add the solid and then another design and then this one. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. You're going to use your multi-purpose liquid glue for this as well. And I add the 3 strips of glue. And then just add your strips. And the score lines should line up perfectly. So you're going to let that set to at least adhere really nicely. Then you're just going to go ahead and flip it over. And I'm going to use my paper piercing tool. And I'm going to remove this tear and tape. Then you're just going to bring up your strip. Now normally this would go past your score line, but remember we want to give it a little curve. And then adhere that down to that tear and tape. Okay. Okay, so then you just do the other side, the exact same way, and then adhere them down. And I went ahead already and did one, so it's already dry in the bottom. Okay, so here's my finished one right here. And now we're just going to go ahead and add the other set of 3 strips along the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid glue. Now this one, remember we did the 2 solid and 1 white. Now we're going to do 2 white and 1 green. Get my solid one here first. So we're going to put the solid color in the center. And then the 2 white on the outside edges. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and flip this over and do the exact same thing. Grab my paper piercing tool. Okay. Okay, so there's your basket. Isn't it beautiful? So it's every other color is different. So you got the green, the white, the green, and then the white, green, white over here. Okay, so now we're going to take the handle part. This is also different than what we did from the smaller basket. We're going to go ahead and staple this handle to the inside of the basket. And before we seal this edge down, we're going to staple our handle. Let me show you here. So you're going to take your handle and you're just going to line it up and you're going to staple it below that score line for the flap. So the flap is actually going to cover the stapler. Let me bring in my stapler. So you're going to put your handle in here and you're just kind of feeling it so it's at least below that score line, and then take your stapler and staple it in there. You can staple it actually a couple times if you want. Like I said, this is a bigger basket, so I want to make sure that that handle is going to hold all that candy. And we can also make this a curve here. Okay, so we're going to go to the other side. And then once again, go below that score line just a little bit. So this flap is going to cover over that. And then staple that. Okay. Okay, so there's our handle. Now we're going to peel off the tear and tape. Okay, so see where those staples are? This flap is going to fold over, not only secure the strips in place, but it's also going to cover up those staples. Isn't that adorable? All right, then we're going to go ahead and add a little lemon lime twist. This is the 1/2 inch finely woven ribbon, and I went ahead and just tied a bow to show you that you could put a bow on the side here, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. Let me get some glue dots. Okay, so there's a bow, just to show you what it would look like to have some ribbon tied on the side. Isn't that cute? And of course you could do the other side. So then also let's add some Ready Shreddy. Remember, this is the pack that you get all 3 colors. You get the white, the silver, and the berry burst. I'm going to add the white. Okay, so there's the basket. Isn't it cute? Let me bring in the other ones again. So then here's the tiny little basket. Isn't it cute? It's like the mama and the baby. I used the fresh florals for the whole Easter basket on this one, so you can see the difference. This one is using the lemon lime twist cardstock as the base of the basket. Okay, so that's it. So I have all the items listed below, and then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.